going on, Rope Breakers? Welcome back to Before the Bell. Show's not been on for quite some time. I've been away for quite some time, but I'm back. Actually, wasn't planning on bringing Before the Bell back. Actually, had a lot of plans to really beef up the show. I was gonna cut some really cool intro stuff, really cool outro stuff. Still plan on doing that. So all this stuff that you see right now, the logo that I'm throwing on there. All this stuff is temporary. This is really a very impromptu Before the Bell episode, uh, but didn't wanted to make sure you guys were aware that I'm actually really fucking tired right now. Just want to let you guys know that it's 1:45 in the morning, and I'm exhausted. I gotta work tomorrow morning, but I really wanted to put this out there, because of the Royal Rumble. Had a lot of feelings about it. Been reading all your guys' comments, and really just wanted to throw my 2 cents out there. And I figured what better way than bringing back Before the Bell. So like I said, impromptu, last minute thought, but I figured I'd do it for me, do it for you guys. And like I said, 1:45 in the morning. I'm about ready to fall asleep. I got work in the AM. So I'm gonna make this a quick one. Um, Wanted to very specifically talk about Roman Reigns because I've been reading your comments on it, and a lot of people aren't really understanding why Roman Reigns was booed uh, at this year's Royal Rumble, yet he was cheered at last year's Royal Rumble. It's very, very simple. He was cheered last year. He wasn't being cheered because people wanted him to win. He was being cheered because people didn't want Batista to win. People were bitter and they were pissed that Daniel Bryan got or wasn't even in the Rumble. People wanted Daniel Bryan to win because they wanted him to be the WWE champion. And they were pissed that it was between Roman Reigns and Batista. And they pretty much were picking the lesser of the two evils. I don't think anybody wanted Roman Reigns to win, but I think people really did not want Batista winning. So I think that had a lot to do with it. On top of that, it was organic. People were cheering Roman Reigns because he wasn't being shoved down our throats like he is now. Fast forward a year, he's being oversaturated. Take it this way. Think about a song that you like, that you hear that's played on the radio every single day. If you were to listen to that every single day on the radio, you know how tired of that song you're gonna be? You're not gonna want to hear it. I don't care how much you like that song. It's gonna suck. You're gonna hate it. I've had that happen plenty of times. I'm sure you guys understand what I'm talking about. That one song that's catchy, you're singing along, you're whistling along to, but then every time you get in your car to go to work or go to school or whatever you're doing, that song is constantly playing every morning the same exact time. After a while, you're going to be like, okay, I'm tired of the song. I don't really like it anymore. It's boring. That's exactly what's going on with Roman Reigns. It's not that he sucks. It's not that he doesn't have talent. It's that he's being constantly shoved down our throats. And he's not ready yet. That's another key thing right there. That's my problem with him winning. Not that he's not good. I mean, his mic skills aren't there yet. His in-ring is not there. He's still so green. He's not ready to win, and yet he won. Um, I think there were way better options, way better booking decisions they could have made going into this. And I just feel bad for Roman Reigns. I really, truly do. I like the guy. I think he has potential. I want him to do good. But I think they've set him up in a position that's very dangerous right now. I honestly think that if they go down this path that they're going and they give him the title this soon in his career before he's ready, it could really, really hurt him. And it could even come to the point where it could possibly end his career. I know that sounds drastic, but it really isn't that drastic. I mean, think about it this way. When you have the WWE Championship, you know what that does? It puts the spotlight on you. And you know what that spotlight does? It exposes your flaws. And right now, Roman Reigns has more flaws than he does anything else. So can you imagine him cutting promos? You can't sit there and tell me you think he cuts good promos. They're not that good. I mean, if they were to give him this year to work on his promos, by next year, Royal Rumble, he could be fantastic. He could be the next big thing. And then I would be like, oh yeah, hell yeah. Win the Rumble, go on, do what you got to do. but he just doesn't. He's not at that spot yet. There are plenty of other options they could have gone with. The one that I personally picked because I thought it was the right decision, whether you like the guy or not, was Daniel Bryan winning. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's the popular decision. You're just kind of going. My voice is cracking. Like I said, I'm exhausted. Um, it's that's a popular decision. You're going with what everybody else wants. No, I like Daniel Bryan. Um, I'm a huge wrestling fan. I like mat wrestling. I like grappling. I like all that kind of stuff. Should I do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu on a weekend, every single weekend? Um, I just enjoy it. So yes, I like Daniel Bryan. I followed his indie. I'm an indie fanboy at heart. I love that kind of stuff. Definitely followed his work. But it just makes sense to have him win the Rumble because there's already a built story. There's no work that needs to be done. I mean, you have a guy who spent an entire year, trying to beat the Authority, trying to get over the Authority and win that title. He finally does it by beating Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista in the same night, becoming the champion. He pretty much beats the entire Authority to become the champion. And then before he even has a chance to do anything with it, has to give it up back to the Authority so that he can go get his neck taken care of and have some neck surgery. Then he comes back from that neck surgery, and I was a little annoyed that they kind of revealed that he was going to be in the Rumble. Thought that they should have kind of had a little foresight, maybe done some planning ahead of time, made it surprise, have him come in at maybe number 10 or something crazy like that. Have him come in, win the Royal Rumble, go on to Mania. Because, I mean, that match in and of itself, I know people probably don't think that would be a good match, but think of it this way. They're both some of the stiffest wrestlers in the business, and if you're unfamiliar with that term, stiff just means that when they hit you, they put a little bit of stank behind it, a little bit of pepper. They hit you with what they got. They hit a little harder than most guys. They don't pull their punches as much as they're taught, and that makes it more realistic. And I'm all for that. Brock Lesnar is known as being one of the stiffest guys in the business. Daniel Bryan is very stiff in his own right. And I think it would have been, and they're not afraid to take bumps, either one of them. So I think it would have been one hellacious match. It would have been an all-out war. David versus Goliath. Nobody thinks that Daniel Bryan could win. He's not a tall guy. He's not a very heavy guy. Brock Lesnar is a 300-pound beast. He just destroyed Seth Rollins and John Cena in that triple threat to retain his title. Daniel Bryan, once again, going against the odds, against the Authority, winning that title back, and then losing it to Seth Rollins, who cashes in. Just think about that for a second. How awesome would that have been? And while all this is going on, you have Roman Reigns working on his mic ability. You have Roman Reigns working on his in-ring skill. Maybe he has a match with his cousin The Rock. Maybe he has a match with John Cena. Who knows? But he's working on his skills. You have the future of the business, Seth Rollins. That's in my opinion. I think he's the future. Going against another future of the business, Daniel Bryan, main event talent. Could you imagine that feud? Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins. I'm going to give you a second to kind of just let that sink in. Okay, was that long enough? I mean, I know that match is a dream match of mine. I think that would be phenomenal. The stuff that these guys would be able to do would just be incredible. And I think I even said in one of my articles, it would be a match that would make every fanboy pee their pants a little bit. Very true. I think it's a very true statement. But I just think that this would be phenomenal. I mean, I think that whole storyline makes sense. You have a feud between these two guys. You could work it in as, to where Roman Reigns is somewhat involved in the storyline, but not for the title, not in the main event. I don't think that it works for him yet. I think he needs to have time. Also, he made a very, very good point on our Royal Rumble React post show, which if you haven't checked out, it's on our YouTube page. I'll leave the link in the description. Go check it out. It's just really badass. Talking about the show, by the way, it was really badass. The post show, not the Rumble. The Rumble sucked. but it makes perfect sense. Think of it this way: Roman Reigns is like Rocky Maivia. Do you remember Rocky Maivia? If you don't know who I'm talking about, if you're too young to know who the hell I'm talking about, it's way past your bedtime. Go to bed. No. Go check it out. The Rock was Rocky Maivia before he became The Rock. History lesson over. I'm moving on with the show. Could you imagine if Rocky Maivia was in the Royal Rumble? Would The Rock even be The Rock? What if the ringmaster won the Royal Rumble while he was the ringmaster and not Stone Cold? Would it be the same? No. The difference between those two guys and Roman Reigns is they were given time to build and to be molded into the guys that they are today, into the superstars, the wrestlers that they are today. That is exact, and I agree with Aussie 110%. Roman Reigns needs time. He needs to be built. He needs to be molded into the guy that they would think or see him as right now, because he's not ready. I don't think he's at that point yet. He's still too green. He can't cut a promo without making some mistake, and that's a problem. He needs to be fluid. He needs to captivate the crowd. He hasn't gotten there yet, and that's okay. It's understandable. He hasn't been a solo wrestler, for that long, so it's understandable that he wouldn't be at that point yet. There's nothing wrong with that. But give him time. Go with the surefire thing, because right now they're making far more work than they need to. Because you give him the title at Mania, and then what? People get bored with him? I mean, maybe Seth Rollins cashes in, but even that doesn't interest me anymore. I think it would be way more, way better for Seth Rollins to cash in on Daniel Bryan. I think the fan would just be so much heat on the guy. I think the fans would just go nuts. Look how they reacted when he was eliminated. They were chanting his name for like 3 or 4, entrants after him. The crowd went sour on the Rumble after Daniel Bryan got eliminated. He got one of the loudest pops of the night, if not the loudest. I mean, the whole crowd was doing the yes chant. This happens every time he comes out somewhere. SmackDown, if you didn't see SmackDown on Thursdays, when he made his debut, it was like dead the entire night. When he came out, the fans were on their feet, and it wasn't that pre-recorded bullshit that they play where they manufacture the crowd cheers. It was legitimate because the fans were actually, you could see the fans on their feet doing the yes chant. Same thing on Raw. I mean, the guy, obviously the fans want him. The fans were chanting Daniel Bryan after he got eliminated. They were booing all these baby faces because they just gave up. They didn't care anymore. Are you telling me that you can't see that is going to translate into WrestleMania? You think Roman Reigns is going to sell out an arena? Look at how they just reacted. They need to do some serious damage control, because if they let this go, like I said, it could be very damaging to Roman Reigns. It could be very damaging to his career. I mean, they're going to have to do a lot of, if they give him the title when he's not ready, it's going to expose all of his flaws. Really put that in the spotlight, because he's the guy that's got to run the show. He is the man, the face of the company. He is the guy, the main eventer, and he's not ready for that role. And that's why I'm mad, because it's ruining a lot of potential. And I don't think people are seeing that. I think people are bitter. They're not understanding. They're mad at everybody who is hating on Roman Reigns winning. He's just not ready yet, and I think it's very damaging. That's where I'm coming from. So that's why I was upset over it. And I think that's why a lot of fans were upset over it. It's not that I don't like Roman. I want to see him be successful. That is why I was upset, because I want to see success. This is not the way to get it. Give Daniel Bryan the opportunity to get it back. He deserves it anyway. What about his rematch clause? Doesn't he get a rematch clause? Apparently not. That was an oversight. But give it to Daniel Bryan, who can give it to Seth Rollins, who is the future. These guys are the future of the company. Build up Roman Reigns. Give them time. Mold them into the guy that you want them to be. That is how it's always been done. For some reason, they lost that formula a long time ago, and it's really hurting the company. Big oversight in my book. The Rumble itself wasn't very good. Um, I don't want to spend too much time talking about anything else. Just really wanted to be very specific on Roman Reigns. We're about 15 minutes in, so I'll give you a brief overview of how I felt about the rest of the Rumble. I don't want you to get the wrong idea in thinking that I hated the Rumble itself. I didn't like the Rumble match. I thought it was kind of booked poorly. There wasn't really anything great. DDP's entrance really wasn't that spectacular because and this is a big thing for me. The crowd wasn't in it. If the crowd isn't in it, it's hard for me to get involved as well. Like if the crowd's dead, it's just not as electric as it could be. And the crowd was dead. They wanted nothing to do with it. So when DDP came out, small pop, people were excited to see him. But I mean, it wasn't what it could have been. I wasn't that excited as I should have been. You know, Bubba coming out. You know, I was a little bit annoyed. You know, this is just me nitpicking, but I was a little bit annoyed that he came out third. I mean, I know with R-Truth that's why they did it, but I just felt there wasn't enough build on that. There wasn't enough building that anticipation. You know, is he going to come out now? Is he going to come out now? And then, oh my God, he's come out. There was none of that. It was just because you don't expect them to reveal a guy at third, so you're not really paying attention, not really thinking about it. Then when it happens, you're kind of like, you're not paying attention. Then you're like, oh shit, he's out. And then by that time, the moment's over, and you're not as excited as you should be. Still really cool that he came back, and that begs the question, you know, is he back, or was it just for this one time only? What do you guys think? I mean, let me know. Write a comment. Um, I think he's got a lot to bring to the table. I would love to see him in some capacity. Make some sort of return. I think that'd be great. Great talent. Um, so the Rumble itself, you know, started off strong. You know, I thought there was a lot of potential for great things to happen, except none of those things happened. You know, so that kind of explains the Royal Rumble match. So much potential for greatness to happen, except nothing happened. You know, they built this thing up with Bray Wyatt. You're thinking somebody's gonna come out. You know, he cuts a promo. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think they were just trying to waste time. I think somebody, you know, was talking in the ref's ear, and it was like, yeah, we need more time. You know, we kind of, you know, we have a lot more time left than we thought. You know, give Bray the mic, have him talk a little bit. And I think that's why they had a lot of the entrances take a little bit longer to kind of make up for that time. But I don't know, I thought they just dropped the ball with the Rumble. I thought there was so much more potential in that match. Luckily, the triple threat match saved the pay-per-view for me. That match was phenomenal. One of them is going down in history as one of my all-time favorites. You've heard it here first. Definitely up there with some of the all-time greats, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. You can disagree with me if you want, but I thought that was phenomenal. Everything about it was great. Lesnar looked great. They all did phenomenal. Seth Rollins proving once again that he is the future of this company, in my opinion. I think he's the best guy going right now. He can talk on the mic. I love Daniel Bryan, but I just I mean, Seth Rollins has that ability. He can wrestle like Daniel Bryan, but he can talk on the mic better than most guys. He grabs your attention. You know, so he's he's high in my book, top guy right now. That's the guy you need to be building before Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns, maybe in the future, maybe a year from now, he'll be where he needs to be, but just not right now. Seth Rollins is the guy you need to look at. Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, those are the two guys you need to be looking at right now. I think Seth Rollins is going to be at Mania. I do think he'll cash in on Roman Reigns. I think he's going to have a feud. Maybe he doesn't, you know, because I think he's going to have a feud with Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton comes back. I keep wanting to say tomorrow night, tonight on Raw. I think Randy Orton makes his debut. I think they continue that feud into Mania. Maybe Randy Orton costs him cashing in. Who knows what's going to happen with that. But I'm not even interested in him cashing in on Roman because to me that's not as big for him. It's not as impressive for him if he does it on Roman. It's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. I know they're kind of banking on the Shield storyline, but there's been nothing really about that. It's kind of just been left for dead. So, I just don't really care. Really kind of bummed out about that because I don't think he's ready. Not a terrible pay-per-view, but that Rumble, you know, it's hard because that's kind of the namesake. So when you have the name, the match that's kind of the namesake of the pay per view ends up sucking. It kind of drags down every other match with it, unfortunately. And it kind of makes you look at the pay per view as a whole as kind of a loss because it's the Royal Rumble. That match is the main event, so when everybody looks forward to, and when your co-main event or the match before the Rumble, is better than the Rumble itself, you got a problem. And I just didn't think the Rumble match itself delivered. Was not good at all. A lot of wasted opportunities. Nobody really returned that I cared about, other than Bubba. But he didn't even come out with Devon, so I thought that was kind of a, man. I wish Devon was there so he could testify. I'm just talking crazy. I'm like I said this like 30 times. I'm fucking tired. I'm exhausted. All right, guys, it's late. I gotta work tomorrow. God, you guys keep holding me up. I gotta go to sleep. Just wanted to let you guys know that I'm still alive. Before the Bell is still going strong. Like I said, all this stuff is temporary. Oh yeah, got a new studio mic, by the way. Hopefully, if you can't hear it, this is definitely clearer, I think, than the other stuff I was using. Not as much interference, not as much static in the background. I don't think it's really any. I think it's quite crystal clear. Yeah, so I got a new mic. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna try to make this show better. All the stuff is temporary right now. The logo that I'm using is temporary. I'll have a new badass logo. I'll have some like intro and outro music. I'm gonna make this thing pretty damn cool. So that's in the coming weeks or months. I'll see between work and other things that I do whether or not I have time. But I'll try to work on it, see what I can do. But I just wanted to throw this out there. Very impromptu, like I said, wasn't planning this. But, wanted to talk about this stuff. Really wanted to voice my opinion and let you guys know how I felt about this. And really get your opinion. I really value that. So definitely comment in the comment section on anything that I've said. And let me know what you guys think. We're 22 minutes in. Hopefully that's enough to really grab your attention. And if you have any advice there's something I said that you didn't like, something that you want me to add in the coming weeks to Before the Bell, you want me to go longer, do you like the 22-minute time length? Do you think that's enough time? Would you like to hear me go longer? I was doing 45 minutes before the bell, before this, so I can definitely go back to the 45-minute length if you guys prefer that. If not, and you like the 22, 23 minutes, then let me know. But you can. I'm in a new time slot now. I moved to I'm on Mondays now. Every Monday at noon, you can catch Before the Bell. It'll be on our website at ropebreakwrestling.com. Got to do the plugs. Can't forget that. Facebook.com/ropebreakwrestling. On our Twitter page, twitter.com/ropebreakwrestling. And you can, and on our YouTube page, make sure you subscribe right here on our YouTube page. And if you check in the description, you don't have to remember or memorize the URLs for either of those things. I'll link them right in the description. Just got to click on it. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and like our Facebook page to keep updated in all things WWE. And with that being said, that's pretty much it. I'm getting the hell out of here. Oh yeah, before I forget, don't forget to tune in a little bit later tonight, right after Raw, to react. We got a full panel, guys. I don't think you guys are aware of this. Myself, Aussie, Alec, and Mitch are all going to be on the panel for React tonight, immediately following Raw. So make sure you tune in and check that out. And how are you going to know about that? Well, one, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You're already here. Just hit subscribe. Then go on over to our Facebook page. Like that bad boy up. I mean, might as well follow us on Twitter, too. You don't have a Twitter? Well, damn, son, about time you started one. Go start a Twitter just so you can follow us. But we'll post it on both our Twitter and our Facebook pages to let you know that it's time to tune in. Click the link. Sit back. Relax. Eat a bowl of Fruity Pebbles. Whatever you eat. Enjoy the show. Gonna be awesome. Alex the man. uh, and it's gonna be rocking. But I gotta get the hell out of here. I gotta shut up. I gotta go to bed. Gotta work tomorrow morning. So thank you guys for tuning in to my impromptu before the bell. I will see you guys again in the new time slot of Monday at 12. I'll see you guys right back here. Same exact time, same exact place. Peace.